a.m. We'll call the Redevelopment Commission meeting to order. And the first part of business is a roll call. BJ?
Present.
Hi, Josh.
Paul?
Here.
Josh?
Here.
Debbie?
Present.
Richard? Ann is absent, and we have Krista and Ellen. So we have a quorum. We need to have a motion on the minutes from May 20th. And you should have a copy.
Motion to approve.
We have a motion, need a second? Have a second from Josh. Any question? All in favor? Aye. Okay. We have the claims. We did not meet the last 2 months, so this is paying our bond and the bills that are currently due. If could have a motion to approve the claims. BJ, would you like to glance at these first?
Excuse me?
I gave him a copy.
Oh, okay.
He's seen
I
them.
need a motion to approve the claims.
Move to approve.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Old business. Krista?
I don't have any old business. We just have the new, the final costs under new business for the Paul Hand and Graham Road roundabout. Matt, do you want to go over that? Do you want me to do that? Sorry, I lost the agenda. Give me a
It's
second.
all right. Matt McElroy, city engineer. So the two roundabout projects got closed out a couple weeks ago. So we got the final numbers back, and we got the final change order approved through the Board of Works for, it was a balancing change order for minus $210,003.70. So overall, a good project. The original contract price was $2,939,700. So with the Paul Hand roundabout, we had a cost share agreement with Whiteland and the county. So the sheet that is up on the screen kind of breaks down those numbers. And with the negative change order, final balancing change order, we actually are going to owe money back to the county in Whiteland. So those numbers came out to be $80,555.80 back to the county, $92,949 back to Whiteland, and the city also saved $92,949.00. So that basically what this is just our money we have to give back to them. Any questions on that?
And we don't really need any action on this today. It was just more informational purposes. I know we've brought it up a couple times of, we're waiting for the final numbers, and then we'll get those refunds issued to the county and to Whiteland, so.
Do we need any kind of motion to give this money back or to?
No, I did check with the clerk's office, and they said it could just all be handled under the resolution, so I just
Okay.
I'll just create an invoice to pay the county and to pay Whiteland, and just attach the resolution, and then we have the interlocal agreements, and they said that would be fine, so.
Thank you, Matt.
Yep, no problem. Thank you.
Okay, moving on to Aspire Economic Development and Chamber Alliance presentation. Amanda, welcome.
Hello. Thank you for having me this morning. Oh, Chris has got my. So Amanda Rebedu, Vice President of Economic Development for Aspire Johnson County. We just wanted to provide you guys with an update of some of the things that we've been working on and provide you with an opportunity to ask any questions and give you an update on our strategic planning efforts as well. So we are, Aspire Economic Development and Chamber Alliance Aspire Johnson County, because that's way too long of a name. Our key service areas are economic development, business advocacy, entrepreneurial services, community development, and member services. We are the economic development organization chamber for Johnson County, so we are working on your behalf to attract businesses to Johnson County, to Franklin, helping to shore up workforce and helping connect our existing businesses to resources that they need to stay and grow here in Johnson County. So if you want to, there you go. Chris is on it. She's heard this already. This is our economic development team. These are the folks that are working on your behalf. So Christian Maslowski is our organization's president and CEO. Myself, Pat Moon, who's here with us, is our economic development specialist. Her area of focus is really helping on those requests for information, or RFIs. She gathers up tons and tons of data to submit for project requests through IEDC, Indie Partnership, and some of those direct requests that we get from brokers. Also works to meet with our existing businesses, have a good understanding of what their business model is, challenges that they may be having, and seeing how we can help facilitate connections. Jennifer Hollingshead is our school to work specialist. Her role is really focused on getting our businesses connected into the classroom and getting our students connected to career exposure opportunities. And I'll have some more info on that later on in the presentation. All right, so we are currently working from our existing strategic plan that was written in 2020, and just kind of wanted to give you an overview of where we're at with that. So our overarching goals for that plan were to increase our advanced industry jobs within the county by 50% over that 5-year period, and increase the average wage of 15%. What's funny is the 15% gave me the most heartburn. The jobs was like, oh yeah, that's no big deal. And then the average wage was like, oh, that's gonna be tough. But inflation, all of the things. Just kind of give you an idea, we had the 2020 base when we started was 4,104 jobs in the advanced industries. Advanced industries are really advanced manufacturing, STEM-focused careers, pharmaceutical, energy, life sciences, the engineering, those types of careers. Our goal was 6,154, and we are currently at 4,716. As you know, conversations that you have had with business leaders looking to expand their businesses, they're putting a lot more funding into personal property, technology, rather than into expanding their workforce necessarily. They're working a lot leaner, leaning more on technology. We also were looking to increase our average wage growth. 2020 base within the county, that average wage was $19.23. Our goal was $22.12, and we are currently at $24.24. Also had some additional goals that kind of broke that down into, I guess, slightly more bite-sized pieces, into boosting that industry development, looking at getting our sites ready to go, and community collaboration, quality of place, and then that workforce development piece as well. So just kind of give you an overview, and you guys have seen projects come through here, but I always like to kind of give a quick overview of the site selection process. So when a company is looking to expand or relocate into a new market, they usually will work with a site selector, real estate professional, to understand their business, understand their business needs, and really start to tease out a wish list of sites that will work well for that company. Then they go out and start analyzing communities or analyzing regions that could be a good fit for that. So if they're really high tech, they may need to locate near a major research institution. If they are they need a Midwestern location, then obviously that'll be, they narrow that search down into the Midwest. And so just kind of give you an idea. And so once they kind of get that list and that list narrowed down, you can kind of see the funnel there. They look at those potential candidate locations, and then reach out to our state and regional organizations and the MEs across Indiana to provide that wish list, and then we then take a look, make sure that that's going to be a good fit for our communities, make sure that we've got the utilities and the site to support that, and then we submit that information then to the state, and then they review that, and they put it in a big giant spreadsheet, and they're just looking for a reason to delete that list. So we try to put our best foot forward and make sure that that we're providing them with all the info that they need and really showcasing our community. And so, as I mentioned, we look at those projects to see if those are a good fit for our community. So our goal really is to play defense as much as offense on behalf of our community. So if there are sites that aren't a good fit, then we're not going to submit, or if there are projects that are not a good fit for us, we're not going to submit anything for that. If we have brokers and things like that that reach out to us and say, oh my gosh, this project would go, this company would go really well here, and that's been indicated to us that that is not desirable for your community, then we make that pretty clear. We let them know that won't go well. If that needs to be rezoned, or you're looking for incentives, that's not necessarily going to be a good fit for the community. And so again, we are out there playing defense as much as we are showcasing our qualities across Johnson County. Let me flip here. All right, so our 2024-25 activity update. Holy smokes! Okay. Well, that didn't translate well. Okay, so on that, it's been a day. Okay, so I'll just give you the numbers here. And so that yellow box there is supposed to showcase what are the previous 12 months, what we saw project-wise, and then the previous 12 months and then the 12 months prior. And so in 2023-24, we responded to 53 inquiries. Now, we may have seen 100, but we only responded to 53, either because we didn't have a site that was a good fit for their request, or that project was not a good fit for our community. We are currently actually doing an RFI analysis to look at the projects that we turn down and understand the reasons why, and learn if there is a gap in either the type of site or building, if there is an industry that we would have liked to have gone after but weren't able to because we were lacking a site. And so we're going through an analysis right now to better understand that. The last 12 months, we've responded to 57, so pretty close. It's been pretty consistent. Potential jobs, about 8,600 the previous 12 months, anyway. I can update this and email it to you later. So just, again, it's been fairly slow. You can kind of see from the line chart there, the yellow line represents 2025. And so those are the numbers of projects month to month that we have responded to. And you can see that line is pretty flat through the summer. I did this, I looked at our numbers early last week before last, and this is the info that we had. What a difference a week makes. It's been crazy town the last week. It has been crickets all summer long and has been very busy the last week. And so having conversations with some of my colleagues around the state, they are also seeing an uptick as well. And so hopefully this is the last time I show you a chart that's not this pleasant. So in my bullet point there, that incoming leads have slowed, but they are starting to pick back up, thankfully. Just kind of wanted to give you an idea of the breakdown of the types of leads that we have responded to. Q1, Q2 in 2025, the projects that were seeking existing buildings, we had 35 of those, only an existing building. Seeking land sites, we had 18 of those, and that 7 projects that were interested in either. So just kind of give you an idea of the types of projects that we are seeing. So we'll keep scrolling, hopefully this. So countywide efforts, we are doing a lot of outbound marketing where we are sending out our info and connecting with site selectors across the U.S., site selectors and brokers across the U.S. to help them to have a good understanding of the types of projects that we are interested in and the type of workforce that we have and our sites and buildings that are ready and available, ready to go. We've had sent out about 18 of those touches. So far this year, we've connected with about 35 of those site selectors and brokers to have those individual 15-minute conversations. As of right now, we have not had any site visits. Like I said, this year has been very, very quiet. I'll be able to update this later on today, and I'll be able to update that number. So as Pat has conducted 28 BRE visits. That's business retention and expansion. That's where she's meeting with those existing companies to make sure that they are doing well, that they're healthy, and we can come alongside them and provide them with any resources that they need. All right. So this is my favorite part to talk about. This is our School to Work program. This is our workforce development program, where our School to Work specialist meets with companies to. We have a menu that we have them fill out of all of the different, essentially, entry points into the classroom. So we've got classroom presentations. Our businesses can meet one-on-one with a student. They can do a job shadow, all the way up to a potential internship or apprenticeship program. And so the menu goes from minimal investment in your time and in your funding and your staffing to some a little bit more heavy when it comes to the externships or internships or apprenticeships. And so they're able to check that box. Jennifer takes that information, plugs that into a spreadsheet, and when she has a teacher or a student that reaches out to her and says, I have a student that's interested in IT but wants to work outside, we've got a company for that. I've got a student that's interested in the nursing field, but really isn't sure, what direction that they want to go. Well, how about we let you have a conversation with one of our organizations, and let them know where they have a comfort level in engaging with the schools. We've also stepped up and been able to assist the schools with some regulations, some requirements. So last year they instituted the career discovery meeting, where students have to meet in a small group with an employer during the school day. It's a 30-minute meeting, and so only 5 students at a time. And so we bring in 10, 15 employers that have a willingness to sit and chat with our students about their career path, some of the things about their company, and just how they got where they are. And we've been able to do, we did 2,100 of those this last year, and we were able to increase our student, teacher, and company engagement in the School to Work space by 95%. And so we were able to make a big impact with that. We've recently become the JC AMP administrator, so it's very similar. It's an apprenticeship program for the advanced manufacturing. And so helping our students get connected and actually coming out of school with a job offer, 2 years of work experience under their belt, and an associate's degree that can roll into a bachelor's degree. And so very excited about that. Also conducting those teacher field trips. We did a teacher externship this last year. And so this is just a program that really proud of. I call it an eyebrow raise program. So when we're telling people about it and they go, oh. So it's one of those ones that's really, really important to our organization. And so just wanted to give you a quick update on where we are with our strategic plan. We kicked off those efforts in June. And so July. July was our first steering committee meeting. We've got stakeholder listening sessions this month. If you have been reached out to and requested to be part of those, please respond to my email. And so we're going to be conducting those stakeholder listening sessions, gathering data. We're looking at, we conducted a SWOT analysis, doing that project lead analysis, site inventory review, doing a regional workforce analysis for those key industries, not maybe that aren't in Johnson County, but are surrounding us, that we may be able to attract a supplier or buyer that would be a good connection for them. And then going through September, my goal is to get this to our Economic Development Advisory Council in November for final approval in December. So just kind of wanted to give you an idea of where we were with that strategic plan. Our initial strategic plan was massive, and so my goal with this one is to make this a little bit more narrow, a little bit more focused. The first one had everything from elementary curriculum to mental health. It's not my wheelhouse, neither of those things. So, so I want to make sure that we're a little bit more focused on that economic development piece. So that's all I've got. Do you guys have any questions for me?
I have an odd question.
Oh, okay, I'll see what I can do.
Has Franklin ever been approached by a business who was interested in Franklin, but we didn't want them?
Oh, yes. Like I said, we play defense as much as we play offense. So we'll have brokers that will reach out to us with maybe an environmentally impactful project, or maybe something that's smelly or has a lot of outdoor storage or things like that, and they're looking at a particular site that's just not a good fit. We meet with the mayor and his team once a month, and have a good understanding of what his interest level is and what the community would be comfortable with in particular areas, because we know logistics not going to go on Main Street, so it's understanding what the community desires and is what they're comfortable with in each area is high priority for us.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You mentioned a flat summer. Is that a normal tradition? And what do you see over the next 6 months?
So summers are generally slow. We get slow towards the end of the year through the holidays, and then through the summer is usually pretty slow. Not this slow. This is crazy slow, or this up until last week. So no, in what I'm hearing from my colleagues as well, they're also seeing that uptick. We had kind of anticipated after the election a little bit more of an uptick, because there was a little bit more of like, okay, we kind of know what to expect here. And then tariffs came in and it kind of went crazy. So I think kind of the more consistency or a better understanding of what to expect, because business doesn't like the unknown. And they're not going to make decisions, big decisions, when they don't know what's coming around the corner. So, but no, I do anticipate an uptick.
Second question, one of your challenges was labor, job creation. Do you see that improving over the next year?
I see our work when it comes to upskilling our folks, and that's a priority of the governor and our secretary. Our Secretary of Commerce is really upskilling our existing industry. I haven't seen a lot of like talent attraction work, at least, or that conversation being had with the state. I think labor is going to continue to be an issue just because, we're a growing area. And I think that's going to continue to be a challenge, but making sure that our folks are ready to go, and making sure that the companies are aware that we have a workforce pipeline that we are developing. I think the new diploma requirements are going to be very attractive to companies, especially in the industrial space, that are looking for folks that have that work experience. I think is going to be really attractive. But as far as those numbers go, we're hearing that there is a wider pool of employees, but the depth is not there, of applicants, but the depth isn't there as far as quality yet. And so that's something that we can help impact.
Anything else? Amanda, thank you very much. It was enlightening, and I wish you a lot of success over the next year.
Thank you.
Okay, Krista, let's move on to the May, June, and July financial report.
Okay. I won't spend much time on the May reports, but just updated some of those numbers. And then also the property taxes that were received. So you can see there, the estimated cash balance was $3.8 million for the integrated TIF, and then $873,000 for the US 31 TIF. And that is at the end of May. So if you look at June, let's thinking about it. Sorry. Okay. So if you look at June, a little bit more detail there. Again, the updated disbursement, we did receive that in June, so that was $3,254,666. That amount was higher than we received last year. And I don't know if you recall, but there were 2 properties that did not pay their taxes last year that were pretty significant. And so those both have been paid, and then they've also paid that penalty, and so that amount is higher than anticipated for the first half of this year. I don't expect it to be quite that high for the second half of the year, just because those taxes are now current, and there isn't any extra to collect in the second half of the year. So, good to see that. And then, year-to-date expenditures through the end of June is the $3,219,000. Remaining appropriations, $5,113,000, which would leave us with an estimated cash balance of 3.7. And then I updated the resolutions below to show the current balances on those. So the first column is what was approved, and then the second column is what's been paid out of those resolutions, and then the third column is the remaining amounts. And the same for the US 31 TIF. The amounts here are what were received, so you can see that the north allocation area was a little bit higher. The south allocation area was actually a little bit lower. But those kind of balance each other out a little bit there. Not a lot of activity in this TIF district, just because the bond payments, those have been made, and so you'll see there both bond payments have been made for the year. That would leave us with approximately $884,000. Any questions on either of those?
Okay, thank you. Now we'll move to the cash flow.
Okay. So the mayor and I spent quite a bit of time updating this, along with Matt's help, and trying to get you some more accurate numbers here. All of the resolutions that were approved at our last meeting, so the Graham Road supplemental, and then the Yandy Street, all of those things were added in order up here. So you can see what's being paid out of the TIF and what's being paid out of other areas. So those are listed there. We did list projects under consideration. So these are things that we know are most likely coming up. We did get the first of the two bids in for the DPW, the wastewater treatment plant expansion. That will be through a bond. And so then that west side sewer interceptor, that still has to be bid, correct? Yeah. So that's still an estimate, the $14,600,000, but that is the engineer's estimate. All of those other numbers are pretty accurate. Those are not being paid through the RDC, but just wanted to list those there. Any questions on any of the projects under consideration? Okay. We also updated projects that we knew were going to be moved to 2026. So those are listed there. And probably the biggest one is that Graham Road reconstruction. There's right-of-way costs below it. There's inspection listed. And then there's also a bridge construction that is potentially needed there as well. So those are all listed for 26. Any questions?
Is the bulk of that Graham coming out of the RDC?
Yes, except for the stormwater would be paying that $1 million that's estimated for the bridge reconstruction.
Okay.
And we've already paid for part of that as far as right-of-way, or as design and some right-of-way. So those resolutions have already been approved.
Any other questions on the 27 or future? Mayor, as you know, there's several people asking about a downtown parking garage. I like that. Okay, any other questions on any of that financial? Okay, I guess start back here with Matt, anything? Dana?
The intersection art has been completed at Jackson and Monroe, just right down there, next Wednesday at 11. We're going to have a ribbon cutting. Rosie's gonna bring big scissors, so we'll have a really nice acknowledgement of the hard work that went on for that project. So you all will be getting a formal invitation this afternoon, but just want to give you a heads up on that.
Mayor?
So parking garage. Okay, we are going to have a conversation with, I have already with the county commissioners, getting ready to have a conversation with a member of their RDC and hopefully our RDC about the building across the street over here. Want to know what the county's plans are. They're going to move all the offices out of there. So that might be an opportunity for the city and county to work together. So we're going to have that conversation in the next week or so. It's been a busy summer. May not seem like it because we don't have all the main construction right downtown or over here on Yandy Street or somewhere that's disrupting the downtown. But as you all know, 31 it's been pretty tough on us here at the office, getting calls daily. Just people don't understand. The state has done a terrible job of keeping up, telling people what's the next step, what's going to happen. And part of that is they're getting ready to close that main intersection at Windstar Boulevard. They're getting ready to close that, but they're going to have Ironwood open, and they're going to have Nineveh Road open, and that way the people can get out of the subdivision, and that'll all be timed at the same time to get that done. It will be inconvenience for the people that live there. They'll have to go out and turn right and then go down the street and turn left, and it's going to be a little farther than what it's going to be normal, because when it's done, it's going to be closer to them. So they'll have to get used to that for a little bit, and I'm sure my phone will be ringing off the wall that day or week. The other good stuff that's happening is Malarkey, $200 million investment here in Franklin, and I'm pretty excited about their road projects because they're paying for it. If you go up and see Earlywood or Essex Drive, they've got Essex Drive blacktopped. It's not completely done yet, but it's from right there at Essex all the way to Paul Han. That's about a $3 million project, and they paid for it. And then Paul Han Road, they also paid for that. That's about a $2 million job, 2.1, I think. They paid $2 million of that. So I really appreciate this company coming here and wanting to be a part of our community and not trying to put the city on the hook to pay for the infrastructure. They're paying for their infrastructure. And that's going to be a main thoroughfare for the city, especially whenever we close Graham Road, which I hope to do at least half of that next year, at least half. That will be the bypass for Graham Road. So somebody's looking out for us, because when you close Graham Road, if we didn't have Essex, that was going to be a nightmare to figure out where the detour is going to be. So that's going to help with that. Of course, we have the wastewater treatment plant. The bids are in, inspection and all. It's coming in about $30 million when it's all said and done. The West Side Interceptor that we talked about, that is needed to take a load off of the US 31 sewer that is already close to capacity. Don't get me wrong here, it's fine, but it's getting where it's overcrowded and needs another interceptor to help take some of the load off. Plus, it opens up more ground for homes on the west side of Franklin. So that we hope to maybe get started in the wintertime or next fall or next spring, get that rolling. And then we're also looking at a new building at DPW. It's about $1.5 million for a new billing building to get the billing department separated from the workers department. And we're going to put our IT in there with that building. So as you can tell, we have a lot of stuff that's in the works. I can probably, if I'd seen a list of something, I can talk for hours, but I don't have that list. So Krista, make sure I don't see a list so I won't talk so long. So anyway, if any questions for me? We're pretty excited about what we're doing here in Franklin. And you guys are a big part of that. So any questions?
Appreciate your help on US 31.
All right, thank you, Richard. Thank you.
Rosie?
Well, Franklin Chamber, what we're working on this week, we've also got a big list too, but this week, as you recall, the EDC has given us $25,000 in partnership to work together and give out 5 capacity building grants. The grant application is closed, and now we have 22 applications that the committee needs to review. They're mostly solid applications, so we've got a big job ahead of us. So this money came from the EDC as part of economic development grant fees, and we applied for and received $25,000. So we're very grateful to the EDC for that, and this will be our 3rd year in partnership with them to provide small business grants for our businesses.
Sounds exciting.
It's a good project, it really is. It's a feel-good day.
Thank you. Rob?
So we also got a $25,000 EDC grant, and that was to provide for live acts at the art craft, starting in January, ending in April. We've already got about 4 or 5 of those things that are booked, so that could be a concert, it could be any number of things, but the entire idea was to work with starting out in Franklin and try to bring more foot traffic in on Main Street and downtown, so that our merchants can take advantage. So that's going to be a great program. It'll also be a good test for what people want out of live acts at the art craft. Speaking of which, we brought in 2 theater architects from Minneapolis, from the firm of Schuler and Shook, to take a look at the existing stage and rigging and all of that. And so working with them and RC, we should have numbers pretty soon of what that would take to do all of that, from lighting and sound and structural stuff. And then these weeks have been pretty steady, pretty busy. We have bingo tonight, so if you want to join us for that. Franklin College Freshman Night tomorrow night, Torchfire Film Festival on Thursday night, and then again, movies during the weekend. But we've been having so many author events with the library and with Wild Geeks, and we're selling the place now. It's been very good, and then we partner with Greeks. They bring in personal pizzas, so there's a relationship there. We're getting people from all over to come and see these author events. And we're talking about Michigan, Illinois, Ohio, Kentucky, all driving to see their favorite authors. And I don't know, it's a lot of fun.
Thank you. It's exciting for Franklin. I wish somebody would help the weather a little bit with all the summer activities. It's been a little unbearable. Les, you're hiding back there.
I'm just recovering from last night's Jerry Springer show.
It's available on our YouTube channel.
Okay. BJ? Paul? Josh? Debbie?
School's back.
School.
School's back. We have over 5,000 students enrolled in Franklin schools. work is beginning on the new ag barn and also the Cub Academy. We're in the process of buying a couple more school buses. All school board members toured all the buildings in the last week. We were approached by Bargersville Town Council and Fire Department as they're building a fire station on 135. I believe it's Division Road. And they're wanting us to kick in on the cost to help Union. So that's something we have to deal with. And roof on the high school is nearing completion. On the middle school, it's done. And we're always in need of special education teachers. And contract negotiations are in progress. That's pretty much it.
Good luck with everything.
Thanks.
Okay. Chrissy.
I just want to introduce Rachel Thompson to the commission. So I think this is your first redevelopment commission meeting. She's our new administrative assistant for the third floor of City Hall. So we're just super excited to have her, and she's doing an excellent job.
Thank you, Rachel. You're welcome. So if there's nothing else, thank everyone, and we'll see you next month.